this is our first actually YouTube video. I kind of can't believe I'm doing it, but we are taking advantage, not really, but you know, we're trying to make the most of this whole quarantine, coronavirus. We know that people all over the world, it's really such an interesting time for the world. I think that most of us have never experienced something like this. I'm in Austria right now with Dominik, of course, my husband, and I've had gigs canceled, and so I was supposed to fly back to the US next week, but not, so now we're here, and you know, we really want to be useful. We want to be of service in this time. We don't just want to keep busy, and so we thought, since we're not able to go and speak and do our normal gigs with each other for other people, we thought we'll just come to you guys and share a little bit of our story. And so one of the questions I think we get asked the most is, how did you meet? How did someone who is an American and someone who is an Austrian meet, and what is that story? And I think I'm gonna let him kind of start, because I think his perspective is cool and interesting.
Yeah, so Jen, it all happened in 2018, and Jen was touring in Austria. So she had tours all over Austria, 7 events in Austria, 1 in Italy in 2018. And it was in August. I saw a flyer from Jen Bricker, Born Without Legs, put up for adoption. And I didn't know her. I was just invited by the boyfriend of my sister, and I knew I had to go there. It sounded interesting, and I went to this event and I heard her speech, and she was telling about her life. She was telling about her life story of how she was born, how she was adopted, how everything started out with becoming an acrobat, becoming a speaker, touring with Britney Spears and everything. And also the story with her sister was really just extraordinary for me. And you can just see all these things in other videos, but what happened there is I listened to her story, and then I bought a book, and I went home, read the book, and I was just so blown away. I was so inspired. I was really inspired, not just motivated, but inspired. There was a different feeling. I didn't even know what that was. I just felt so peaceful, so rooted, so meaningful, that life itself is just so meaningful. That's what I felt the most. And yeah, then I had to reach out to her, because I mean, she was pretty much asking for it in the book.
Whatever.
That's how it spoke to me anyway. And yeah, I just texted her on Facebook, and I wrote this super long message. I wanted to be very nice and polite, of course, and she just responded, and it was really surprising for me. I was just in my apartment, and I saw she texted back, and I never even thought she would do that. And then well, I read her book, and so I had to also tell her a little bit of my life. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe I just sat down, you know, and I wrote for about 3 hours. I wrote down my whole life for her. And I thought, I'm gonna send it to her, and either she thinks I'm totally crazy or she likes it. And
when I read the message, I mean, it was long and it was in depth, and it was like, it was written in the way that like people don't write anymore, you know, like an older person would write or something. And now I know, I always make the joke, because it's like, I always say that there's an 80-year-old man living inside of him, and he's younger than I am, actually. He's almost 6 years younger than I am, yet he's the one that has the 80-year-old man living inside of him. So now I know why the letter was written like an older man, you know? It's actually a very good quality. I love it in him. I have learned to love it. But I was very I was moved. I noticed that the message was different than other messages, you know, that I'd gotten from people, and that just kind of evolved from texting to voice messages to video chats. You know, and the first time I saw his profile, I was like, I mean, I don't know, he was holding a trombone and he's younger than me, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like an athlete, you know, performer coming from this world, and I'm thinking, I don't know. But you know, he just kept messaging me. He was just there, always messaging, and so polite, so respectful, you know, and that goes a long way. That goes a long way in my book. And eventually that led to him saying that he was going to come to the US. And I was like, yeah, right. I didn't believe him. Like, whatever. I'll believe it when I see it, you know? And then he bought a ticket. Flew to the US, and it was what? He had never been to the US.
No, I'd never been to the US. I always wanted to go, but I never made the action step to really do it, and I never took the courage to really do and follow it through. That I was thinking about it for years, and I thought, this is it. I have to go and meet her now. And yeah, it was the first flight I ever took alone. You can imagine that. And never been to the US. Flew the first time alone in a plane. Landed in the land of the free.
Home of the brave.
Yes. And it was amazing. She just showed me whole LA, showed me all this sightseeing tour, and did everything for me. And it was just a very great time. And that evolved in me flying back, of course, again to Austria. And then I think that's a different story now than everything involved.
Yeah, that's another video. But we just wanted to kind of, like I said, use our time wisely, reach out to people, connect with people all over the world, share a little bit, answer kind of questions. There's a lot of people asking a lot of different questions about our life and our time together, and we want to just start sharing videos about different subjects and different things in our lives. And we're here, as you can see, in one of the most beautiful places. Look at this mountain. One of the most beautiful places in Austria. I mean, this is unbelievable. We're so blessed. We're so thankful. We love all of you out there. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. All of this is temporary. There's so much to be grateful for, so much to be thankful for. The world is not over yet, and there's so much that we can do in this time. Don't let fear overrule you. Don't let it conquer you. We are bigger than that. We are stronger when we unite together.
Oh, yes.
And we just want to try to unite and send love and just be honest and open with all of you. So thank you for your time, and if you love it, just send us questions that you have, and we'll just start making videos about all different things.
Yeah, we're excited.
Thanks, guys.
We're excited to hear from you. Bye.